Hi folks, a couple of you asked for a demo explaining the ins and outs of the humble old wah pedal. So without further ado, essentially the wah pedal, it alters the tone of the signal, creating a distinctive effect that mimics the human voice, hence the name wah wah. The pedal sweeps the peak resonance of the filter up and down in frequency to create the sound. Now, just to give you a quick history. The first wah pedal was created by Brad Plunkett at the Thomas Organ Company in 1966 and eventually sold under the name Vox, or the brand name Vox, in 1967. Now, Thomas Organ then changed the name to the Crybaby, as we all know it, but failed to trademark the name, which led to a whole flood of copies. Today the Crybaby is now made by Jim Dunlop, and the model I've got here now is sort of the classic El Cheapo Crybaby wah Dunlop. It's a decent pedal, but as I'll explain later, it could be better. Now, some great tunes that feature the wah pedal. I'm sure we all know these tunes. For instance, Cream's White Room, Voodoo Child, Slight Return by Hendrix, Sweet Child of Mine, a great solo from Slash, and of course, you may not know his name, but his name's Charles Pitts. And you might be thinking, who's Charles Pitts? Well, he did the classic wah guitar on the theme from Shaft, and we all know that, hopefully. Anyway, let's play some licks, and then some point down the line in this video I'm going to take the camera off its stand and we'll have a good close look at the wah pedal and try and explain its ins and outs, and you know, if something goes wrong, what we can do to fix it. Now, you heard me at the start playing this. Now, I'm sure you all know what tune that is and who it's by. It's that old I'm not going to play any more of that, but shame on you if you don't know what it is. So I'm not going to tell you. Now then, that's really the easiest way to sort of get used to the wah pedal, get used to controlling it, getting it in rhythm, because that's the most important thing, is to sort of get that rhythm. You can't just do that. You got to get a nice sort of, you know, if you're in a band and your drummer's got a nice steady beat going, try and match up with that beat or with with the backing track. And it's just simple, just if I just get a little sort of rhythm going without the wah. Okay, nice steady rhythm. Now let's introduce the wah. Okay, so that's the easiest way to sort of get used to getting the control under your foot. We can play sort of simple chords. You just use the wah just to embellish that chord, give it a bit more something than the traditional just sort of. One of my favourite ways to use the wah instead of the whole sort of rhythm thing is just to highlight some notes. So let's say we're in D minor pentatonic, just highlight, you bend a note and then just sort of start with the wah, heel back, and then as you bend the note, just bring the wah to the front, and it just gives it an extra something. One of the best things about the wah pedal is that sort of, a bit like the human voice, just gives it a bit of emotion. So, Okay, so you know, really the function of the wire pedal is pretty self-explanatory. Heel back, it's got a sort of it's a bit like the tone part on your guitar. You know, turn it down, you've got a sort of a bit more muted, a bit duller, and then on full, you've got your treble back. And it's the same kind of principle with the heel back. You lose all that treble, move it forward, and bring the treble back. We've got all them points in between. So, as I said, it's a simple thing. It's sort of not too dissimilar from the tone pot on your guitar. And you just got to use it creatively, imaginatively, essentially. Or you can set it so it's somewhere in between the 2 points to get a certain tone. Let's just set it about halfway. There we go. Now you notice, let's just turn the wire off, just play a chord. Okay, just turn the wire on. Instantly you notice when you turn the wire on there's a bit of a boost in the treble. And wire pedals can be known as tone suckers. So much so in fact that particular pedal of mine, I don't have it in the chain in my pedal board, simply because when I do it, it sucks the tone a little bit, and it's not as bad as what some people seem to make out, but it certainly does suck the tone, there's no doubt about it. And you can mod it so it doesn't do that. You can mod it for true bypass, but the amount of time I use it, certainly I don't think it's worth it. And the more expensive models, some of them have true bypass, some of them are just have better circuits, and that's not as much of a problem. This is a cheap, this is the sort of 50-60 quid version, sort of the basic version. But you know, it's a decent pedal. It doesn't have quite as much travel as I'd like. Some pedals have a much more distinctive, obvious effect, but it does the job, as you can hear. So you can use it whatever way you want, like I said, just highlighting chords. As long as you get that rhythm, that's sort of fairly important. You're going to be sort of doing some funky stuff. Got to really lock in with the rhythm with your foot. Like I said, the easiest way is just to get a rhythm going with your foot, or some kind of backing track or something, and then just lock in with it and get used to sort of pulling your heel back and then right to the front. Try not to just sort of do it a little bit, because you're not going to get the full effect if you don't sort of sweep it properly back and forth. Although you can just sort of do it a little bit if that's what you want, if that's sort of what you're going after, sort of very much more subtle effect. But if you're going for the sort of full on, you need to get used to the whole travel, and you've got to be careful, because I do this a lot. Previously with my other wire pedal, which was built into multi-effects unit, GT10. I used to get so obsessed with it and so heavy footed that I kept turning it off. It's a little bit harder on this one, but it's quite annoying all the same. So you've got to be a bit more gentle. Now, personally, I feel a wah sounds better for a Strat type guitar or single coils, especially sort of near the bridge position, either position 4, which is the bridge in the middle, or bridge itself. Sort of less pronounced obviously on the neck pickup, but even with humbuckers it's less pronounced still, I've found anyway. I mean, you can still get a nice wah sound, but sort of for the maximum effects it's best with the single coils near the bridge. Now, I think what we'll do now, folks, is we're giving you enough basic examples there. I mean, there's not really too much I can say about the wah pedal, really. I mean, it's self-explanatory, isn't it? You sort of turn it on, foot down, it's got that sort of dull sound, put your foot forward, then it goes very trebly. As you rock it back and forth, you get that sort of distinctive wah-wah sound. And it is just about sort of locking in with it, using your imagination. That's the most important point. Using your imagination, lock in with the rhythm, and then sort of the world's your oyster, isn't it? You sort of, it's up to you and your imagination to come up with all these nice sounds. Because the wah, it's a sort of a limited effect in a way, isn't it? It does one thing, but it does it well. And so you've got to use your imagination to make it different from every other person out there who does that sort of click thing. So I'll tell you what, let's play over a backing track for a little bit. Let's have a jam. I'll just improvise and let's see what happens if I use the wah pedal improvisation. So here we go. Starting off without the wah pedal at the moment. Set it on. There we go. Just got to get used to the pedal, super back and forth, use your imagination. You come up with some nice stuff with it. Right, I'll tell you what, so what we'll do next, let's unplug the thing and just have a good nice look at it. Alright folks, I decided let's have a good look at it now. As you can see, pretty classic shape. At the front we've got the old Crybaby logo. This is the Gin Dunlop, forget what the model name is now, CG, something like that. Anyway, pretty heavy, cast iron for a cast case. And it's got sort of nice heavy base, and you've got your treadle, goes back and forth, and as you may be able to see inside there we go, just see a switch there. You just press down, turn it on and off, and also in there, I don't know if you can see it, not sure if you can see that, but you can actually see the pot, the tone pot is just there, and there's some teeth in there, and as you press up and down, it just turns the pot, and that's where you get your sweep from. And all these parts, a good thing about the Dunlop model in particular is every single part of that is replaceable. Usually the pots wear out, needs to be replaced, but super easy, relatively cheap, don't have to buy a new one again for quite a while. It's going to be tough to break that, let's face it. The left here, you've got your power socket, which is your 9 volt. Typical 9 volt. There's your out on that side, and then obviously your input. Usually put these, if you've got a pedal board or something, first, or near first in line. I think I've got mine second in line, well, when I have it in the chain, second in the chain after the volume pedal. And as I said earlier in the video, generally I don't have it in the chain because it's a bit of a tone sucker, so I only plug it in when I want to use it. Bit of rubber on the top there, stops your foot slipping off it, which is useful. Now, as you can just, I think you can just see there, yeah. There's a little pin runs through from side to side. Now going over that pin is a flat piece of metal. I think it's called a flat spring, I'm not sure. And that piece of metal is just pressing down on that knurled pin running through there. And that just gives it enough pressure on that pin just to stop it from just dropping down. If you pedal, it just drops down on its own. It's too loose, it shouldn't be like that. You should be able to set it anywhere you want within that range without it slipping down. And when I first got this one, and I think it was mentioned on the forum, some people had it, like I said, where it was just dropping down. It was too loose. It shouldn't be like that. So what you need to do is you've got to knock this pin out. You can just see, I don't know if you can see that, probably not. There's a mark on there because I had to get some kind of punch and just tap it till the pin comes out, and it took forever, but it did come out eventually because you need to tap that pin out to get inside it. In fact, actually, I think, yeah, I don't know if you can just see that. You can just maybe, I might have to brighten the video up. There we go. I think I can just see it. You see that piece of metal in there, just there? That's going over the. Hang on. So look. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe you can see, I don't know. But anyway, you should be able to, when you take a look at your wah pedal, you should be able to see if there's a metal pin going across, just pressing down on that pin that's running through, and that just gives it enough to stop it slipping. You might have to take it apart to tighten it up. Now the screw runs through into the base, but somewhat annoyingly, you've got to take this off, because the screw at the top, you can't get anything in there without taking this whole top bit off. So a bit annoying. If they drilled a hole through there, you could have just gone straight through maybe. But anyway, you've got to take that apart. And I'll tell you what we're going to do. We'll take the bottom off this and have a look inside. Let's see what's in there. Right, here we go. Oops. Oh, here we go, folks. That is it. That is essentially your wah pedal. All that, big iron base just for that. Yeah. Sort of your basic circuit board there. Your inputs and outputs, your power thing. And there you go. There's your teeth, which has got some lube on it. And there's your switch and your pot. And like I said, the good thing is the pot is so easy to replace. That's usually what wears out, maybe the teeth, I don't know. So, maybe, yeah, the switch, the pot, nice and replaceable. Take that circuit board off, and there's a screw head or bolt or whatever on the other side of that pin, the screws to the pin, so you need to take that off. So yeah, if you want to tighten up tighten it up so it doesn't move back and forth on its own, you need to knock that pin out, take the top off, take this off, take the circuit board out, and you should be able to do it. And good luck with that, because like I said, it was a pain in the backside. Anyway, I don't think there's too much else I can say about the wah pedal. You know, great thing, very simple pedal, relatively cheap for the basic model, does what you need it to do. Oh, there you go. There's one of the pins. There's two pins. There's something similar to that, but a bit shorter. And you need to get that off, because you need to hold the nut with a screwdriver, with a spanner or something, and use a screwdriver to turn the other side. So not quite as simple as you'd hope to tighten that up, but it is doable. Yeah, powered by 9 volt, powered by a battery. That's simple. There's my absolute ton of Velcro on there, and that's it. That's your wah pedal. The most frequently sold effect. I think we've sold more wah pedals than any other type of effect. Pretty much everyone's got one. If you haven't, it's worth getting one. You might not use it much, but I'm sure there'll come a time when you want to. Anyway, folks, that's it. Can't think of anything else to say about the pedal. Sort of, yeah. You step on it, it makes a noise, like all other pedals. There you go. Alright, folks. See you next time.